Alright, so let's get started. We are going to bleach knots today, and I'm going to actually show you guys how I bleach knots on lace closures. What you will need to get started: I use Clairol BW2 bleaching powder, 30 volume cream developer. It can be any brand. This brand happens to be Clairol's Pure White. Red gold color corrector. This is the box, and it actually is a little tube, or I'm sorry, a little squeeze bottle. Mixing bowl, and I use a mini spatula that's used actually for waxing like eyebrows and stuff. That's what I use to mix it. You can use an eyeshadow brush, a concealer brush, one of those little wooden applicator sticks that looks like a popsicle stick. Just about anything that's small. I also use a foam head. I don't know if you guys can see that. And some T-pins. You're going to need the T-pins also. If you don't have a foam head or you don't want to use one, you don't have to. You can actually do this by laying the closure flat. And I have a lace closure. I'm going to show you the knots on this closure before I get started so you can see what we're actually going to be doing. This is what the knots look like unbleached. You can see the little black dots on the scalp. I'll part it in another area just so that you can better see what I'm talking about. You see those little black dots? We want to make those disappear so it looks like a real scalp. So let's go ahead and get started. To get started, I'm going to take the lace closure and put it on the foam head. I put it pretty much anywhere I want to. Make sure all the hair, we're actually going to turn it over, but I want to make sure all the hair is smoothed down. Make sure all the hair in the back is smoothed down. I actually start it down here and pull it up because I don't want any of those stray hairs to be up here, because the bleach can seep through the lace and get on the hair. And take a pin it down on one side, and I take another one, make sure all that hair is down, and pin it down tight on the other side as well. And once again, I just want to make sure all the hair is out of the way, and this is how it should look with no hair. Okay, now it's time to mix. I take my scooper and I get just a little bit more than a half a scoop of the bleach. Just pour it right into the bowl. Get my developer, open it up, and I'm going to start off by just pouring a little developer in, and I'll actually measure it out for you. I'm going to use a capful to start. Pour it in. And cap the developer. So we'll mix it up. Now I'm going to add my color corrector drops. And this is very important that you add enough of the color corrector. If you don't add enough, then you'll still have a brassy orange color on your knots, and probably on your lace too. To let the bleach activate, it's going to go from this purple color to a light pink color back to white. When it's back to white, that's when we want to come back and it's ready to use. Okay, we're back to white, and as you can see, it's actually expanded a bit and gotten a little bit foamy. It's perfect and ready to go. We have our bleach mixture, and we have the lace side is up on our closure. I'm going to take the spatula, this is the tool that I'm using, grab some bleach and start to just lightly wipe it on. I don't tap. Some people will tap the bleach on. I don't tap. It's just, I don't like to. You got a little strand. You will sometimes get strands that come through the bottom of the closure. I have no idea why that happens, but it happens. And if you do get some hair on the actual strands of the hair, I mean some bleach on the strands of the hair, just slide it off with your finger. It comes right off. I'll start tapping. I'm sorry, not tapping, wiping. Be careful not to push it through. You don't want it to get pushed through the lace. You got another strand that came through. I just pull those little strands out. I mean, they're gonna come out anyways. When you get up to the hairline, I actually apply it with an even lighter hand. And just make sure that you get all the edges. This works on closures that don't have this ribbon edge on the side as well. You do it the exact same way. Now this is where I kind of tap it because I don't want it to go through. And that's right here on the hairline. And just make sure you get it right up to the edge of the hairline. Sorry, I had that turned this whole time. And just lightly go over and make sure I got everything covered. Now what I'm going to do, I have a processing cap. I'm going to cover up the closure with the processing cap. And this is one of the benefits of doing it on a styrofoam head. So I can just wrap it around the whole head. At this point, I am going to use a heat source. This is very important for getting the best results on the first attempt. I use a space heater. You can use a blow dryer. You can use a hooded dryer and put the closure inside of the dryer. You can actually even wrap it in foil to help if you don't have a heat source. I'm going to use the space heater and I will be back to show you the results. Okay, here we are. The hair actually sat in front of the space heater for about 30 minutes. So we're going to take this cap off, the processing cap, throw it away, swish. And you can see the bleach expanded and you can actually see from the bottom that the knots are bleached. So what I'm going to do is take the pins off, the T-pins. Toss aside my styrofoam wig head. And you can see from this side of the closure, sorry, I'm trying to show you guys the best I can. None of the bleach leaked through. So what I'm going to do is wash it. Actually let it sit for about 5 minutes or so. Okay. And now wring the water out. And let's get back in the sunlight so I can show you the results of the closure. Alright, here's our finished closure. This is the underside. You see there's a little bit of blue on the ribbon edge from the red out shampoo. That's okay. Nobody will ever see this part of the closure. This part is going to face down on your scalp. This is the part of the closure that people will see. Here is the scalp. You can see now. No little black dots. It looks like scalp. You can part it anywhere. And that's what it's going to look like. We got rid of the brassiness. As you can see, it's not orange, it's not brassy. They are blonde. And if you need to color your lace or the knots, you can do that with fabric dye, just like I showed in my video dyeing the scalp on a silk closure. You can also use a fabric pen, and you can use makeup. You can use eyeshadow, you can use concealer, you can use powdered mineral makeup, and you would just dab it into your part with an angled liner brush or even a concealer brush. Alright, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope that this helps you when you go to bleach your next closure.